Hello, good morning. Thank you for joining me. It is Monday. It is 9:06. Sorry for being a little late. And 9:06 in the morning on Monday in Guam. And if you're joining me in Hawaii, it is Sunday, 10, 11, 12, 1:06 p.m. I am in a different location. This isn't going to be very common, but my son has a doctor's appointment right after this. So, I just wanted to make sure I was here, and I said I was going to do what I was going to do. So I'm here and I'm talking about nutrition and gout. And so if you hear my son, it's all good, right? Okay, so I just wanted to talk about gout, and I do want to give a disclaimer that this is purely educational. What I'm doing here does not substitute a direct consultation, a direct appointment with your doctor or a dietitian. So again, this is just that really important disclaimer that I want to give out to you guys. But thank you again for being here. So gout really affects a lot of people, especially in the islands. I see it when I worked in the hospital. A lot of people, it seems like it's very painful. And if you are one of those people that have gout, I really I empathize with you, and I do see the pain that it causes, especially when it gets to that chronic stage. So I really felt this was such an important topic to bring up and talk about, because it is quite common. It is one of those conditions that affect more men than women. With women, when it does affect, it doesn't affect them until after menopause. So in the later life, whatever time that is, but oftentimes if you do get gout and you're a woman, you may get it at a later age, around 60. And I like to always start with my nutrition talks about what happens in the body with gout. So when you have foods that contain purine, you eat those foods and it gets broken down. And to break it down further from that purine state, the chemical, it gets broken down into a uric acid. Now, uric acid, you may see this on your lab values. When you've gone to the doctor, your doctor may have told you, hey, you have pretty high uric acid levels. Maybe you've already been at that point where you have the crystals that are in your joints, in your elbow, in your big toe, that type of stuff. No worries, I am here for you, and I do want to provide this nutrition information that can help you get through these difficult gout attacks that are incredibly painful, so I've heard. So you have remember, the way that your body gets rid of the uric acid is through your kidney. So think of your kidney as your filter. Any excess chemicals, any toxins, it gets filtered through this filter, your kidneys. And when you have gout, unfortunately, your uric acid levels have built up so much in your blood, it can no longer, your kidney is not as efficient. It's not that good at getting rid of the uric acid levels or those crystals. So it's kind of tricky. And you have all this extra uric acid levels just in your blood, and eventually what can happen is those uric acid levels, it starts to crystallize. It becomes a crystal. This crystal, what can happen is it can go to different parts of your joints. I've seen it in the elbows. I've seen it in hands, the big toe. I'm pretty sure I forgot several places where it ends up, but these crystals, when you have them, it can become very painful. It can become very red. It'll start to swell. I've seen people that they're unable to walk because of the pain, and it may last anywhere from 3 days to 10 days. So I don't know, for those of you that are watching. Oh, if you're watching live, please let me know in the comments. Type in live. If you're watching this on replay, let me know too. If you're team replay, it's okay. But again, back to the crystals. Over time, if you have chronic gout, 10 years, 20 years, this crystals become tophi or tophi, and you can really see it in the skin. And I'm not sure if, yes, I've established that it's become very painful, but these tophi can go to your kidneys. Remember that filter that we talked about? And then this is what we now know as kidney stones. So when you can't filter out that uric acid, again, it becomes crystals. Over time, it becomes very, very large crystals, tophi. When it goes into your kidneys, it becomes kidney stones. Does this all make sense? Is it all tying together? So you are here because you want to know how to mitigate, how to treat your gout. And I would love to offer a bit of things that might be helpful. You're really going to have to know which foods are high and low in purine. And I will include that in the comments or the description of this video. But you have to know which foods are high in purine because it is different from person to person. I highly, highly, highly encourage you to keep a journal, keep track of which foods are high in purine, because Jim may have gout attacks if he's eating a lot of bacon. But let's say Rose, she has gout. She may have a gout attack if she eats beans or if she eats, oatmeal. So it varies from person to person. I will include a very detailed list of the foods that are high and moderate in purine. It's very important to keep track because your doctor can tell you which is high, and you may avoid everything, but it might be tricky because maybe you don't need to avoid that certain food. And imagine, what if it's the food that you really love to eat when you go to fiestas or buffets, or you just have those family dinners, and you're taking it out from your eating pattern and you don't need to. Okay, and you already know that's something that I always like to talk about, making sure that you get the foods that you love and you still being able to eat it. Another thing that's going to be important and helpful is to make sure you get a lot of fluids. I'm talking 8 to 16 cups of fluids per day, and at least half of that is going to be water. Why? Because it helps to dilute the uric acid levels that's in your blood. It helps to kind of delay the process of it becoming a crystal that's just floating around in your blood. So if you're not getting on those fluids, I highly recommend you start drinking them as soon as possible. The way you can help again with your nutrition is to just continue following an overall healthy diet. So something that's balanced. I talk about this already. Something that has some protein, something that has your carbohydrates, your fruits, your vegetables, something colorful. Trying to add that into your plate, that's going to be very helpful as well. So I've talked about how to add in foods or to help out. I will kind of touch on things that you should be mindful. I'm never the type of person to say completely avoid, but I want you to be mindful if you do have gout, because the foods that I'm going to talk about just briefly, it may or may not be your trigger food. So this is going to be oatmeal. Did you know that? Did you know that oatmeal has purines in it may trigger your gout. Animal proteins, so I'm talking pork or beef, shellfish. You really have to you have to figure out which of those are your trigger foods. Organ meats, liver. So look at those type of foods. Other things you may not be aware of, but broths, bouillons, gravies. If you're taking a supplement of yeast extract or brewer's yeast, that is something you should really reconsider, because yeast is just reconsider, because I will tie in the next thing, which is alcohol. Alcohol, specifically beer. Again, it's going to just be dose dependent. You may be able to handle one beer, but what if there's another person that can only drink like half a beer? So again, monitor that. But beer has yeast in it, which can trigger that gout attack. To go even further with alcohol and yeast, you have to just kind of know that alcohol has this dehydrating effect. So when you're peeing out a lot of fluids, you are putting yourself at a place where you can become dehydrated, and then those crystals again can just start to form. And not only that, but the alcohol, or specifically beer, what can happen is it can affect the medication that you are taking to decrease or to help with your symptoms of gout. What else? Other triggers you have to look out for, be mindful of. Again, your triggers, it could be stressful events. Really, it could be alcohol, drugs, crash dieting. That's a big thing, because I see that a lot, especially nowadays. Everyone's trying to get on the latest fad diet. If you are going on a fad diet at least 5 times a year and you have gout, this may be something that might be triggering your gout attacks and you don't know it. So if you are crash dieting, I can help with that. Please let me know. That's something that I wish that people don't have to feel like they have to go on fad diets all the time to get to their goals. But so my son is needing me, and I hope that really helps you guys. There's never a specific type of food that you have to avoid. You're gonna have to do trial and error. But hi Roselle, and hi Anne, my mom. But I will be again, let me know if you have any questions. If I answered your questions. If you have family members that have gout, please let them know. Invite them into this group. Tell them to come and watch this video. It can be really helpful. There's a lot of information out there on the internet. There's like a gout diet that it's going to cure your gout, but gout cannot be cured. It can be treated with your medication and with your nutrition. I'm going to go. You guys have a good Sunday. You guys have a good Monday. Take care. Bye.